we Christians love God, so we don't sin, right? Well, yeah, you and I both know that's not the way it works. But in all seriousness, we do love God, and we should really try hard not to sin. And sin has consequences. It really does. And so I want to talk about 3 reasons that we Christians should really focus up and try to not sin. And again, we're never going to be perfect, but frankly, there's a lot of times where if we just pushed a little harder, we could sin less. I think of a couple of them come up just right off the top of my head. Obscenity. I know lots of Christians that use obscenity, that if we just try a little harder, we could quit most of it. Or little white lies, or just sometimes people go to parties, they have a little too much to drink. Maybe they're not blasted drunk, but they're drunk. They're over the limit. They're buzzed. That kind of sin, and then other sins too. Christians really do need, we love God and we love Jesus, and Jesus Christ died for us, and we want that relationship. We want Jesus to be our friend. It's, not sinning and working to not sin isn't about just, well, these are the laws of God. These are the regulations and they're written down, and so we have to obey them. It's about looking Jesus Christ in the face and saying, you're my friend. And I want to do what pleases you. And you certainly did what pleased me. It saved my life, gave me everlasting life. So we want to work and focus up not to sin. And, it helps, as much as I'd like to say that, I can really get energy, the energy of my conviction, just simply from my love of God and my love of Jesus Christ. And that would be nice, that I love Jesus Christ, so I have great energy not to sin. But frankly, some of the energy to not sin comes from the consequences, knowing the consequences of sinning. And you're like, I don't want that to happen. And sometimes it's just human nature that we draw energy just because we don't want something to happen. I know speed limit signs. You go down the road, you see a speed limit sign, you go, yeah, I know what the speed limit is, but I'm not really super invested in keeping the speed limit sign just because it's there and because it's a speed limit and because my state passed that law. But the other side of the coin is I really don't want a ticket. I really don't want to pay a fine. I really don't want my insurance rates to go up. And many times the fact of the matter is we human beings just need to understand consequences to get energy so that we can really get the energy of our conviction. Absolutely. So let's talk about 3 different major consequences to sin. 1 is it can mess up your life. 2 is you can lose rewards in the Messianic Kingdom to come. And the 3rd is you can invite demons into your life and end up with demonic oppression and sometimes even demonic possession, being possessed, being demonized. So you can mess up your life, you can lose rewards, and you can invite demons into your life. Those are pretty good reasons to not sin. Let's take a look at the 3 of them. Well, messing up your life, that one should be fairly easy. People sin and they mess up their life. Gosh, think of, you break the law, just even the speeding example. You break the law, you get caught, your insurance rates go up, all kinds of trouble happens. Sin messes up your life. And the Bible is very clear about that. It's not like, we should be sitting there going, wow, why didn't God tell us that? There's so many verses that tell us that sin will mess up your life. Here's Proverbs chapter 1, the first chapter of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 31, 32. I'm reading out of the Revised English Version. So they will eat from the fruit of their own way. This is talking about sinners and evil people. They will eat of the fruit of their own way. They will be satisfied. Some versions read glutted or stuffed out of their own plans. For the turning away of the naive ones will kill them, and the false security of fools will destroy them. Yeah, there's a false security there. I can just do this and be fine. Maybe not. I think about My family was affected by the fires in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And here are two teenagers, and they're just starting a fire in the woods, in the wind, just, lighting matches and throwing them down on the dry ground. And, that's sin. And did it end up messing up their life? Yeah, it sure did. Over 2,000 homes and buildings were burned to the ground. Over 14 people lost their life. And so here's some kids, and they're starting a fire. Seems innocent enough. And look how it's messed up their life. They're both in jail now. Oh my gracious. Sin can mess up your life. And the Bible says so. They'll eat the fruit of their own way. The turning of the way of naive ones will kill them. The false security of fools will destroy them. We don't want to be in that position. We want to have a wonderful friendship relationship with Jesus Christ and obey Him and get the energy to obey Him. Another consequence of sin can be loss of rewards in the kingdom. Really, when you think about it, it's kind of cool that, we love Jesus Christ. He's our friend. We love God. We have a relationship with God and Jesus Christ. And because we have that relationship, we want to obey them. We want to bless them. We want them to be blessed with us. And then when we obey them, they give us rewards for it. They pay us for loving them and obeying them. That's pretty amazing. But if we turn from them, down here on earth, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to kind of ignore you two. Then we can lose what we would have had. Absolutely. Does the Bible tell us about that? Sure. That's not some kind of surprise. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. If anyone's work that he has built on it, we're building in our Christian life. If anyone's work that he's built on it remains, he will receive a reward. That's what we want, rewards. Verse 15, but if anyone's work is burned, because on the day of judgment, the fire of judgment, if anyone's work is burned, he will suffer loss. And that's really true. We will, there's actually people that will lose the rewards they could have had. And it says the same thing in 2 John 1:8. It says, watch yourselves so that you do not lose what we have worked for, but that you receive a full reward. Well, that's what I want. I trust that's what you want, that you want a full reward. You don't want to just kind of half-heartedly serve the Lord down here on earth and then get into the day of judgment when we could have rewards that would last through the kingdom, and you just say, sorry, you didn't focus up. You weren't serious. There are no rewards, or your rewards got burned up because of sinful behavior. We just don't want to be there. And then the third thing I wanted to bring up was that if we participate in sin, that can open doors and invite demons into our life. And those can be demons of oppression that make things go wrong in our life. And occasionally, depending on what we get involved in, it can even mean the demon can enter us and we can become demonized. We can become afflicted by demons internally. The world calls it possessed. I don't want that kind of thing happening to me. I'm sure you don't want that kind of thing happening to you, but we've got to be aware that at least God warns us against it. That this is what sinful behavior can do. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 21, evil eagerly pursues sinners. Evil eagerly pursues. Now that's both a personification and literal. It's a personification, the meaning that, if you're a sinner, evil things are going to happen to you. But also evil, the category of evil demons. They pursue people that are sinners because those people open themselves up to demonic oppression and possession. And that's what the demons want. They want to be inside you. They want to be able to inject thoughts into your mind, control some of what you do. I don't want that for me. But the Bible's very clear about it. Evil eagerly pursues sinners, but goodness will reward the righteous. Sure, if we obey God, we're rewarded, and God makes sure of that. And that's not just one verse. Here's Proverbs 17:11. Surely a rebellious person seeks evil, so a cruel messenger will be sent against him. And the word messenger in both Hebrew and Greek is the word that gets translated into English as angel. And there are good angels and evil angels. We see evil angels, for example, Jesus Christ talks about them in Matthew 25, I believe. So, what's it say? It says, you're a sinner, and so a cruel messenger, evil spirits, will be sent against you. When we sin, when a person sins, they open themselves up. Now, the devil has freedom of will. Just because you sin, it doesn't mean you will get a demon, because the demons have freedom of will. They can, or they may choose not to. It's not formulaic here. Sin, get a demon. It's not formulaic. But it is saying that if you participate in sin and you're a willful sinner, then you open yourself up. So here I am as a Christian, and I'm trying to obey God. And the first thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to focus on my personal relationship with Him, draw energy from that friendship, draw focus from that friendship, and not sin. And then on the flip side of the coin, I know that if I sin, it can mess up my life. If I sin, I can lose rewards. And if I sin, I can open myself up to demonic oppression. And hopefully, between both sides of that coin, I can focus up and work on obeying God and the Lord Jesus Christ. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you found it helpful and a blessing. If you would like to contribute to the effort of producing these videos and having them go out all over the world, please consider donating at stfonline.org/donate. And while you're thinking about things, don't forget to push the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen so you get notified of future videos. God bless.